What up, tribe? I picked up USA Today, and the front cover says Pentagon rushes to support Israel after they were attacked by the group Hamas, the Palestinian group Hamas. And I read it and I said, well, there's no surprise there. The Pentagon has always supported Israel, no matter what. But I'm watching this thing unfold, and I know that, every war has two sides, right? And so the Palestinians have been under military occupation for like several decades now, and their land has been encroached upon at the hands of Israel. And so I do see that, but I am also reluctant as a Black person to just align myself with a particular group and not knowing whether or not their victory or their squabble will benefit me at all, or will benefit my group of Black American people. And so there's this thing that Black people do where we call ourselves throwing off the yoke of colonialism, and we throw out one ideology for another ideology, but neither ideology is necessarily beneficial for us, right? So let me use an example. Let's say a young man comes from a devout Christian family. He goes to prison. While in prison, he starts interacting with Muslims. And so he starts to read the Quran, he stops eating pork, and then he converts to Islam, and he says, okay, I am free, I am liberated, I have thrown off this slave master's religion. Okay, cool. But what that does is that disregards the role that Arabs have played in enslaving Black people on the continent in places like Senegal, right? And also domestically in places like the liquor store, where you have Arabs owning liquor stores, selling liquor stores in the Black community, and they don't even drink liquor, right? And so I can't say that Arabs or Muslims have treated Black people better historically than white people have, which is one we talk about a lot more. Okay, another case in point, right? Someone will say, okay, I was raised in a Democratic family, now I've learned how to think independently, now I have become a Republican, right? Because they speak to my values, etc., etc., etc. Okay, fine, yeah, I get it, but both sides do not look at Black people as being anything more than a vote, right? Both sides, that's what they do. They look at us as being proxies to fight their wars for them. Another current example you have in places like South Africa and Ghana, you have these countries that are, the Sahel region of Africa, you have these places that are aligning themselves with Russia and aligning themselves with China and saying we no longer want to be aligned with the West, with France, with the United States, Britain, etc. And it's almost as if they are saying, it's not that we want to be free, we just want a nicer master, right? So this phenomenon is in play, and it has been in play for a long time. When I look at this conflict between Israel and Palestine, I do see it reported one way, and I think that raises an alarm for me, because there are, once again, there's two sides to this conflict. But I want us to ask the question, what will either side do for us, and have they aligned themselves with us historically, us as Black people? I want to see Black independent critical thinking developed, and I want to see people earn our support. And before we align ourselves with any groups or any ideologies, we need to develop our own communities, our own morals, our own standards, and our own kingdoms, our own democracies, our own countries, our own communities. Right? I think that's where the energy needs to be, as opposed to aligning ourselves with outside groups who look at us as being the spoils of war, look at us as being workers, and do not acknowledge us as independent, free-thinking people that they are bound to respect and treat fairly. That's my take on the conflict happening in Israel right now. What is your take? Drop something in the comments. Peace, tribe.